up, you fuckers? Welcome to your reading. Oh my god, this is hilarious. Well, I'd like you guys to meet my imaginary boyfriend. See? Oh, I see you guys met my boyfriend. He's really good at talking, so you guys should listen to him for a little bit. Okay, now all seriousness, and let me kick him out. Let me kick him out real quick. Get out of here. So today, you guys know that if you try to sit down in a wheelchair, I guess that too, but if you guys try to sit down in one rocking chair incorrectly, it'll like slide backwards. Anyway, today I want to talk about demons. Yes, you guessed it. Demons and higher ranking dark entities. So I was talking about that one strawberry moon, and I brought up those like 8 demons and that little demon boy. I know that I was saying that like had like the boy by like the window and whatever. So actually with that demon boy and the father, did I describe it to you guys? I don't know, but it was a very tall, beefy entity. It had complete yellow eyes. It had like scale, like almost like alligator skin, but areas like it had hair, kind of like goat-like. And that was probably one of the scariest entities I've ever encountered. Probably because it was the angriest entity I had ever encountered. But it was not the only angry entity I ever encountered. I specifically feel like talking about the inception attack that I have faced. So there's this thing that can happen when you're in the spiritual realm and things can cloak themselves. When you spend enough time there, though, it's inevitable. It is inevitable for you to realize what is actually going on and who these entities truly are. So, there was this one time where this entity, this demon, tried to keep me trapped within a certain situation within the dream realm. So what happens is it's not like I would have died in real life. I'm pretty sure, like in some instances it's totally possible. But in this instance, it was more of like a spiritual thing, something trying to get their spiritual grips on me. And it was part of a little collection that was attacking me for a while. So, within the dream, I don't really remember specifically what they were trying to get me to do. Sometimes they just try to drive you crazy, and it was like in those movies where you keep reliving. You wake up, you relive the same day. And eventually I snapped out of it and I was like, whoa, like, you are, what are you doing? Like, you're not human. Like, this isn't. And so once I called out the demon, it just got way more intense. And each time, it was like Little Misfortune, if you guys have ever played that game. Each time you wake up, it kind of clears your memory. So I see how this can connect to real life. How interesting. So every day that we wake up, and like whether you remember your dreams, you don't, whether you are thinking about something in the past, present, future, or you're not, it's an opportunity to show up and do the things that you truly want to do. Obviously, if yesterday you did something and you were like, well, I don't want to do that again, then you're not going to wake up the next day and do it again. In order to achieve that, action, though, requires you to, I don't want to say like wake up, but like, it requires you to understand that you have the free will and the power to do so. Because if you know you want to do something but you feel like you can't, you might not do it. And so the awakening, the awareness is just that I can do this. One action is not going to stop everything. But one action can clear the path, can widen the view. I'm getting something about like eagle eye or like bird's eye view. Okay, that was it for now. Back to the story. So this demon was like playing with me, like they were kind of like kind of in my face about it, like they get cocky, like they get sassy, like they think they got you, and sometimes they kind of do, but it's like not forever. Like, excuse me, like the entities and the energies that truly do want to harm you, like that's why they're never successful. That's why you're always protected, because they always, at the end of it, like they just want to feast off of you, so they get carried away with it, and they're overboard with the scaring you and this and that. And so as soon as someone or something with a certain vibration steps in that can see it for what it is, that's it. It's dunzos. And that person can absolutely be yourself. So in this Inception dream world, I was my own protector, because as I kept waking up within the dream realm, they kept putting me to sleep faster and restarting the dream faster. And although I was scared and I was like, holy fuck, I was like, oh wait, no, like this is a dream realm. Like, I am under attack. It was super interesting, because when I remembered that as I woke up in the Inception dream realm, the little house that I was waking up in, it just blew away. it blew away. There was a lot of energy, a lot of power, a lot of anger. And I eventually just woke straight up. I've eventually just actually woke up. And it was like 3 in the morning, and I was like, oh, demon hour. And that was before I knew demon hour could also be spiritual hour. I guess you gotta make it through the demon hour days to get through to the holy days. I don't know, but like nobody was awake. The house was so quiet. Oh, I'm sorry. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. And it's a really scary feeling, especially when you're like alone and teaching yourself for a while, because it's like, yeah, that was in the spiritual realm, but I also felt their energy within the room. And sometimes they are around you. Sometimes it's just like green bird. Sometimes it's just like they're like remote viewing, like they just can only meet you in the dream realm, but you're physically protected. Different things, different parts of the spiritual journey. It's usually pretty clear once you interact with them enough. Once you get enough of experience, it's pretty clear which spirits are going to just straight out be avoid at all costs, and which ones are like, okay, I can listen to this one, I can interact with this one. I mean, you could listen and interact to all of them, but it's more about what you want to allow within your energy. And because a lot of places were once holy ground, some of these demons and darker entities are just protectors, but in a darker, heavier way that may not align with everyone. So that demon boy's dad, he was going, I got like a vision that he was going after somebody that I was looking to for mentorship at the time. And I was like, damn, this is why I don't, this is why, like, what the fuck? Of course, I forgot about this part. Oh shit, I didn't know that they're still gonna do that, because every entity that I've ever had to fight off has gone after and tried to do some dumb shit to one of my friends or one of the major support systems in my life. And so to tell them at the right time so they can protect themselves without freaking out, because if they freak out too much, then it's just harder, okay? But I was just like, okay, well, actually, this guy, this high-ranking dark entity, maybe I can talk to him, because I talked to him before, you know what I mean? Like, not talked, but like interacted with. And so I was like, hey yo, like, leave them alone. Excuse me, are we gonna go through this again? And I stabbed this entity's son. The next night, he came after me. I blasted both of them away, like, sealed them away from me. What I wasn't expecting was for the boy to still have the screwdriver in his heart. And there was a trade, not a deal, not like a deal with the devil type fuck, okay? The devil owed me a favor in a sense, right? The dark entity, it wasn't the devil, it was something crazier. Oh yeah, you guys are just scared of the devil? There's crazier shit, by the way. So if you're over here accusing me of working with the devil, you got bigger fucking fish to fry, my guy, okay? Just saying, but... yeah. This entity was like, I'll leave them alone if you heal my son. And I was like, oh, Roger that, because honestly, my beef is with you, not with your son. I don't know why you fucking sent him here with like 8 other demons. Like, what were you thinking? But okay, I'll do it. No problem. No problem. You better leave him the fuck alone. And you see, I didn't have to worry about that transaction being upheld and respected, because no matter if you like the dark entities or not or whatever, like there's darkness and lightness, and it's not even dark and light. It's kind of like your limits getting pushed to the edge, like the edge of the cliff type vibes. What you're willing to do to fight for yourself. Recognizing what you need to do to truly protect yourself in that moment, in the long run. And since the land talked back to me in that other video, nobody can be like, none of that is real, it's all internal, it's See, you could say this is dark energy, but like, this is just a video. You're not supposed to take it too personally. That's what one-on-ones are for. Anyway, brother said, if you can heal my son, then I'll leave them alone. And I said, that's literally my fucking job. So I had the person, it was like a dark stage world, like just out in the cosmos somewhere without the stars. So maybe not the cosmos, but they were like under a light, like a little spotlight, like protected by a ring of light. And me and Big Boy was off in the corner. And then when I agreed, little boy appeared, and he had like the screwdriver inside still. And I remember pulling out the screwdriver and like flying it. And I remember seeing it like roll towards the light. And eventually the screwdriver went into the light. I put my hand over the wound, and not only did I heal, but I protected, blah, 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 all the different energies. And I'm not sure if then the little boy went into the light circle, but I think there was like a little bit of beef, a little bit between me and the entity. Like, I don't know if I was just scolding them or if I was just being really stern or firm or like really like whatever, but and that's when I learned to respect even like your greatest enemies, like to really truly respect them, because just because you don't want to do what they're doing or you don't agree exactly with them, who do you think plays out karma? Who do you think are the protectors? Like, yes, they like I can be all but then if I see you doing something fucking crazy, like I'll do something crazy back in order to protect myself or someone else, right? Like, okay, yeah, you could compare that to like angels, but it's not fair to just completely disrespect the dark entities too, because they have a whole own thing going on. They have a whole operation that keeps light in power. It is truly like working together, because I mean, is there really even a light or dark, or do we just register entities as dark when they're in protection mode, or when they are after something, or when they are wounded? Because the God that people say are so loving, they also say fear them. So, I mean, if you are God versus the devil, I mean, you could just look at it and be like, the devil is just God when they're mad. So, would you talk shit about God when they're mad? Especially when it's like valid? I don't work with the devil. The devil works for me. The devil works for me. I don't know, you guys. Let's pull a card for that, because this video might have some people on their ass. Fierce protector, action. 21. 21 savage. A lot. Oh. Okay, so this is 2, Radiance. St. John's wort. I see. Looking at it from a different perspective, how would you change your protection rituals? How would you change your self-talk, even? Because if you register something or someone as evil, how you react to that is how you react to the dark in yourself. You feel me? Like, you could say that, oh yeah, the demons were trying to get me before I got to a certain point, before they couldn't get me anymore, and that may be true, and some of them definitely were feeding on me for a little while. But you know what? They trained me well. They trained me well. I had a lot of experiences I wouldn't have had if they didn't think that fucking with me was a good idea. So, I'm just trust. Self retrieval, coming home to self. I guess, yeah, like, something that's difficult for me sometimes is to explain this thought process and implement it into others, because I remember how fucking scary shit was. I remember how dangerous shit was. Like, it's not a joke. That's why I have a whole spiritual protections thingy. Because something that I've realized is the more people that you let know, the more people that send that positive, loving energy towards you, whether they think you're crazy or not, like just sending that energy, protection, banisher of darkness, it it works. They don't have to believe you. They don't have to think it's exactly what happening. Exactly what happening. It work. It work. I felt a leechy spirit that passed away a little bit too soon. That was kind of like living life with me for a little bit. When they were detaching, there was like so many people, like a certain amount of people that I told, and every time that I told them and I was vulnerable in that sense, I actually felt the spirit detaching from me, and it was like fucking painful. It was painful. Like if it was attached to like my chest, like specifically like my collarbone right here, like I felt it like ripping off. It was so fucking sore. And I was like, okay, well, it's working though. It's working though. And it only hurts for like a split second. But the fact that there even was like that physical sensation was pretty insane. Which, by the way, in meditation, I plucked a big something off of one of you. So if you felt that way, that was me. I saw the cord, I pulled the cord in, I fucking put my leg up, and I ripped that shit off. Oh, I did brace. Actually, I did brace. I braced a little bit. I had to do it a couple times, so maybe. But if you felt that, that's probably what that was. I think it's so funny sometimes because I feel like it's such a flow, and then sometimes it's just like, that's good. And I'm like, oh. Oh, now what? So I guess I want to see if there's anything else that needs to be said. Okay, we got a whole fucking chapter right here. Oh. Like, we all do it. We're all like, oh, that was nothing, or all this, or all that. And sometimes, yeah, it is just like science. It's just physical, real world shit. But the worlds do. The veil is so much that, like, it's very pass-throughable. There's portals like little rifts. There's portals and rifts everywhere. So don't doubt yourself on what was happening to you. Because if you truly believe in multi-dimensionalism, that there is a heaven, an earth, a hell, or this or that, transcendent, like whatever the fuck you believe, if you believe that there is more beyond this earth, then you cannot deny magic or miracles or other entities or other spirits, because it wouldn't fucking make sense. It wouldn't align with your belief system. So, yeah. And in the moments where you feel like you're being silenced, not necessarily by people, because they can't do that anymore, but by energy, like whether it's coming from humans, entities, or higher up, because not all higher up spirits always get along or have the same beliefs. There's no, like, people cannot believe you all they want. They can discount you all you want. They can say, oh, well, it wasn't that. It's actually this, because, oh, why? Because that's how you experienced it. Oh, why? Because looking at what you experienced from a perspective of somebody actually was fucking sitting in their house, taking the fucking time to look up your pictures, to fucking collect some of your belongings, and putting all these little things together, looking up spells online, this and that. Yeah, we know that all that shit is hamajang. But if you that serious, if you that focused on it as a human, especially when you have been told about your spiritual abilities and trained by darker practitioners, yes, dark magic is real. And it is absolutely present, and it can be as simple as like someone talking shit. You could call that dark magic. But there are people who actually fucking do shit. The reason why people are like, it doesn't work, like people who do that don't know what they're doing. Some of them really fucking do know what they're doing. 125% know what the fuck they're doing and what kind of energy and darkness they're trying to cast upon others. However, if you can acknowledge that and accept it and then still rise above it, still rise within the forgiveness and that love frequency, that is when it doesn't work. Not because, oh, it's not real. Oh, it's not real. Okay, some people sit around and say, oh, climate change isn't real. Same people that is sweating in their house, grumbling, how come the AC bill is going up, but climate change isn't real. Maybe the argument should be climate change isn't necessary, right? But it's like, if the whole planet's gonna fucking just blow up because of the sun one day or something, it's like we have the opportunity to make the choices to help the world run better, or however the fuck you want it to. But just ignoring shit and saying it's not real, racism's not real, the impact of tourism on the economy isn't real, but how come our streams are empty? Oh no, yeah, the local people totally get along and they fucking, and then meanwhile they're like fucking threatening each other. Like, this shit is real. The violence in the physical realm and the spiritual realm is real as fuck. How involved do you want to be in it is up to you. But what's not a good idea, in my personal opinion, and my personal very multitude fucking shitload of fucking experience, is that you just gotta trust yourself. You gotta trust yourself. You gotta not dismiss others. Because, let me tell you something. When you in fucking trouble, in a situation that doesn't seem like anybody would fucking believe you, and you need someone to believe you, you're gonna wish that all those times that even just for a simple moment you were like, that's fucking bullshit, fuck that, that's not real, she don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Yeah, who you gonna fucking call? Ghostbusters, nah, demon hunters, brah. That's who you're gonna fucking call. The ones you was fucking talking shit about the whole time, that's who you're gonna fucking need. Regardless if it's spiritual or physical. The energy that you put out does come back to you. So if you're putting out an energy of truth and protection in a respectful manner, in the best way that you fucking can, it's gonna come back to you. It's gonna be reflected. Like maybe the land telling you you're welcome when you're all by yourself. proof, to prove, is the reward, is the miracle. The proof, not everybody deserves the proof. Not everybody deserves the proof. So when you get your proof, when you rise above your challenges, when you can enjoy the environment around you, dream magician. Like, you're not gonna be holding your proof up like a fucking certificate. Like, you're not gonna be pushing out the proof to all the haters. No. They're gonna see it if they're meant to. They're gonna receive the healing, the help, the blessings if they're meant to in that moment. Because if their hatred and their negativity and neglect, so heavy on the neglect, if that is holding them down, and you're moving up the mountain and you're shitting bricks the whole time because random shit keeps popping out, when you're at the top of that, the bricks that you shit, it falls on them like a ton of bricks. And because you are so kind and caring and strong and beautiful and just capable and open and free, you don't rub the salt in the wounds, but you recognize that those are your bricks, and that sometimes you're willing. Sometimes you're willing to help pick off the bricks, help heal the wounds. But you're not walking all the way back down. You're not walking all the way back down. You're waiting. You're waiting at the top because you went at their pace for so long. And as you condition yourself, as you condition your spirit, your body, your mind, breakthrough, the pace, the intensity inevitably picks up. You're not leaving people behind. You're not necessarily scolding people or talking down to people. But how you gonna... Oh, these are the same cards that the land... Aw. How you gonna talk shit? How you gonna talk down on somebody while looking up to them? How you gonna talk down on somebody while looking up to them? How can you praise someone for everything that they're doing and you recognize all the miracles and shit, you're even fucking pointing the miracles out to them, to the people that you're looking up to? But then, oh. You are strong enough. You have everything you need to be able to be left behind or go on your own path without clinging to the people that you feel like support you the most. My healing is geared to self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency, not you have to do it alone all the time. No, you can ask for my help when you need it, when you want it, whatever, but do not take advantage of it. That is, yeah, You don't take advantage of the land. You don't take advantage of your healers. You don't take advantage of your own time, your own space, and your own money. And you damn sure don't fucking talk down or try to take in order to fuel your castle. It's still a shared space. It is still a shared environment. This land that your home rests upon, that your feet walk upon, does not fucking belong to you. It does not belong to any of us. It is its own entity, and it is to be respected and heard loud and fucking clear. Maybe you want silence to keep your false sense of peace. But if you stay silent for too long, if you choose to be silent at the most impactful moments, you will then lose everything you thought you were protecting. You then lose the peace. Because peace is to fight. Peace is that you're doing enough to protect the things, the ones, the land you love. Not for just, oh, I can't be bothered all day. I can't be bothered all day. That's fine. If your peace is not dealing with, if anything, everything's all fucking good and dandy, and that that not saying anything and letting them figure it out all by themselves, if that is if that's peace for you, it's not peace for me. That's how I was brought up. When you choose to stay silent in times that you need to be loud and proud, you take it out on the people who don't deserve it. You take it out on your own people. You dare to insult your own people rather than stand up for them. And that's fucking ridiculous. If the land were to have stayed silent, this message would not exist. This version of myself would be further in the future. If the land were to not have spoke to me, not even just get picked up on the audio, but to feel that energy, the messages would have been interpreted so differently. There was a time period where I felt everything shifting, everything changing. And my message, the message that Spirit gave directly to me, was the complete fucking opposite than what I have ever anticipated, what I have ever expected. They said, don't change. Whatever you do this round, don't change. Stand within yourself. Do not change. Purpose and spiritual guardian. So, I I very rarely go back on things that I say. I don't take back things that I say. I don't regret. Maybe once in a while I'll dabble in it a little bit to kind of really pick up a lesson and be like, I can put more energy here going forward. My capacity has increased. But this feeling isn't true regret because I see how everything balanced out. This regret feeling is letting me know that I have a capacity for more next time. Abundance, other forms of intimacy, wisdom, major transformation, shedding, letting go. So sassy summer for me. What the fuck? Anything else? Is there anything else? Not walking back down the mountain can also look like when you don't cross your own boundary, when you don't like roll back down. You can to help someone back up, but (46, 6, 36, 666). I know some people who are deathly afraid of 666. Go fucking look it up. There are other meanings other than just the devil, the devil, the devil. I know people who are afraid of Satanism. If you ignore the really extreme stuff and just look at the basics of it, it is someone who was rejected. It's about being rejected. It's about some form of like humanity, but if humanity was like for angels, like humanity, angelity, like all walks of life respecting all walks of life type of vibe. You can not respect or understand certain things within certain religions and stuff like that. But to tell people that they need to earn your respect or like respect and humanity or angelity or whatever, like those are kind of the same fucking shit to me. You respect the life. So if you don't respect someone's beliefs, you cannot agree with their beliefs. You cannot respect the meaning of their beliefs, but that doesn't mean you get to disrespect them as a person. Because if someone's disrespecting you and you just go straight back disrespect them, when does the problem get solved? Where do you find the solution in that? Wow, 666, blessings on earth. Blessings on earth. Your blessings are here. Your blessings have arrived. Breakthrough. Destiny. Magic. Magic wisdom card. Trust. Receivership. Congratulations.